When we were younger, like in high school, we couldn't even listen to the music in your car. You had to like, people would judge or look at you. Things have changed and we're global now. Like honestly, at the time we're playing Son Huasteco and there was not one trio in the United States of Son Huasteco. Éramos los únicos que tocaban Son Huasteco. The funny part is we get to high school and our friends, Mexicanos, are just like,
play real Mexican music.
Yeah, I know you guys were part of also one of the first virals.
Instagram wasn't even a thing yet. Like we didn't even know what the word viral really meant. We thought it was like a disease. When you actually lock in the song and you hear how the group interprets it, se siente bonito. I was like, yeah, la música es convivencia, no es competencia. And then he's like,
Como dijo Nigel, like he said the word hobby, but it's not a hobby. Like we actually take like very serious. Que quieren pegar, like no traten de pegar, just toquen su música. Y ahí va a salir el estilo. Antes era un álbum al año.
Oh, damn, you guys dropped 2 albums in a year? Ahora ni son como EPs. Let me drop one, and then 3 weeks later the second one, 3 weeks later the third one. We're like, we want our information and our entertainment fast and quick.
Big was Nata, y luego llega otro, y luego Peso Plum, y luego like.
But even their biggest hits, I don't feel like 30, 40, 50 years from now, we're living in a moment. And those songs are world, global hits in that moment. But it's not going to be like Pedro Infante singing 100 años. And 100 years go by and they're still singing 100 años. Or Amor Eterno. Think que ella baila sola is going to be bumping in 50 years?
Like great song, but like.
But it's had the most success out of any song ever.
Yeah. I would bet all my money that when your great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren are at a funeral, they'll still be playing Amor Eterno.
What's up, everybody? Aquí estamos en un nuevo episodio más de Así Pero Bien con mi compa Nigelón aquí al mando.
Saludos.
En esta ocasión, we invited our friends, good friends. These guys are super talented cats. Los Hermanos Herrera. What's up, fellas? ¿Cómo están?
What's up, my man? Good to see you guys both, man. It's been a while. Well, I saw you at the CSAX a little while ago.
At the CSAX, we had that
fat,
oh my God, bro.
It was
Hey,
good.
can I tell a story about the CSAX?
A ver. Yeah.
We used to get invited to the CSAC Awards all the time. Y antes tenían buffet, right?
Yo creo no era buffet.
Era buffet.
Okay.
With jumbo prawns and filet mignon. Y una vez se atascó, like, he did like 3 or 4 trips. You're at a fancy place. You gotta be like proper Beverly Hills, you know?
Right.
Don't even serve yourself that much, nomás.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lo que es nomás. No,
Ya, así nomás.
Y como no le dieron de
Llegué
comer
con hambre, bro.
llegó con hambre. And
Yeah.
después de esa noche ya no lo invitaron para atrás.
Oh my God.
He was banned. Ay, if you
He
go
was
to the kitchen,
banned
una
for-
foto de él ahí.
He was banned for like 5 years until this past year.
That was the first time
Yeah,
you
we
were
got
back.
a hit, and then all of a sudden we got, hey, you want to come to the? I was like, yeah.
He made
Shout out to
CSAC.
Celeste, yeah.
He made CSAC some money, so they invited him back.
He's worth the steak.
Well, it's good to see you guys. I've known you guys for quite a few years. No, I know you guys been in this music thing for a while. You guys pues, tienen mucho conocimiento, no, y experiencia.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've been. I don't even know when we met you, pero it's been a while.
Por parte de Régulo, yo creo,
Yeah.
¿verdad?
Sí, pues cuando lo invitaron a la escuela, ¿no?
A la escuela, y antes de eso
Sí.
hizo como un video en el rancho de su papá.
Es cierto.
Era como el primer, what do you call it? Reality television. Telemundo had a reality television
Oh,
show a long time ago. It was focused on like one band, and the publicist for that band was like, we want to go to your rancho and invite some other bands and just have like a kickback. Y es cuando ella trajo a Regulo y Aquid, and it was at her rancho, and then the band that the show was about was there, and there was a couple other people, no?
Yeah.
And that's where we met Regulo and Joaquin for the first time, and we just like hit it off. Es como,
Yeah, y luego lo invité a mi clase y llegó I remember the first day me dijo, hey, ¿esto de qué se trata? Porque I teach at Cal State Fullerton, and we teach there in the Chicano Studies Department. Y lo invité, hey, hay que hablar sobre corridos o lo que sea, ¿verdad? Y llegó, y de qué se trata? Y me dijo su primo, hey, I think he told me, hey, Tom, it's going to be in English. Y se va a asustar.
Estaba
es nomás
estaba
de 2
nervioso.
horas de lectura, pero en inglés. And he's like,
he was sweating on the elevator up. Estaba
I'm just kidding,
nervioso.
man. Español, como tú quieras.
Sí.
Yeah, y fue como unas 2 o 3 veces. You guys went a couple times.
yeah,
too,
nos
you know?
tocó ir a. That's cool, dude. That was so badass because, like, I don't know. I mean, I never thought I was gonna speak to a class of people. I'm like, damn.
Professor Edgar.
I know Professor Edgar.
Were you nervous?
Hell yeah, I was nervous.
¿Sabes quién se pasó? Era Mariano. Like, he got the marker y empezó, like,
Oh yeah.
writing stuff on the board and,
Yeah,
you know.
Mariano.
Sí, a él sí le gustó.
Sí le gustó.
Yeah.
He was ready for that. That was like, I guess
This is my moment right here.
Yeah, it was a
Pongan
moment to shine.
atención.
Yeah,
You
no,
remember
but-
people are walking like, goes, what's your name? Wants to put their name on
Yeah.
the board. I'm like, bro,
Detention.
We don't do that here, man. This is college.
Write 100 times. I will not answer back. Y la chingada. That's
You know what's a trip though? Like when we were younger, like in high school, we couldn't even listen to the music like at school, you know? In your car, you had to like, people would judge or look at you. You couldn't, and now like you're lecturing at a Cal State.
Right, at Cal State.
And the
dude.
students are like this, like,
I know they're paying
it's the
attention.
best day of, you know, school is cool now.
Yeah.
And they're learning about you and your journey and
That's fucking
story.
wild, bro.
so
That-
things have changed and
Oh, big
it's
time.
continuing
So-
to change. Like, we're global now.
Hey, but para empezar, yo I remember when I was a kid, well, I mean, obviously that's already college, but when I was a kid, todos los maestros eran señores ya viejitos. Like, no, all the teachers are young now, and they talk about cool shit, and like, this didn't happen when I was in school. What the
Yeah.
fuck? I feel cheated out of
You know-
education.
So tomorrow in class, one of the activities that we're doing, it's the second day of school. We're listening to Ella Baila Sola.
Hmm.
And some of the lyrics are missing.
That's crazy.
Some of the lyrics are missing, so tienen que poner atención. Compa, ¿qué le parece esa? And it's blank.
Yeah.
Morra. And they write it in. You know? That's that's one of the
Yeah.
activities I'm doing
That's
tomorrow.
tight.
So you're gonna have
In other
like,
words, he doesn't have a lesson plan.
you know what? It's a fantastic lesson plan.
That's fantastic.
Van a poner atención y
Van a
van a
poner
aprender
atención.
unas.
See, if I
Cositas
would have had
mañana.
that shit, maybe I would have graduated from high school. I didn't graduate from high school because my teachers were just about their business and
Yeah.
you know, eran pues maestros y señores así ya amargados que les valía madre y maybe that's why. See, if I would have had teachers that were talking about stuff like that, about Easy E back then or NW, I would have probably paid way more fucking attention, bro.
I think that's the point, man. Nowadays, you got to relate to students and they have to relate to you. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't happen, they're going to move you out de volada, man.
The X you out immediately.
Yeah,
You know?
can-
you
you
need
can-
good teachers, man.
Like
Yeah.
trick them into learning by making the learning fun.
Yeah.
And you just find ways to make that learning fun, and then they're gonna like
To get the
grow.
message.
They're gonna grow, you know,
Yeah.
and take what they need from it. Because the one thing that school and education guarantees is opportunity.
Right.
And when you have opportunities, you have the ability to choose. And then when you have the ability to choose this career, that pathway, or whatever, then you're gonna be happy. And the whole point of life is what? To wake up with a smile and go to sleep with a smile. So that means that what you did in between
Yeah.
brought you happiness. And you're not always gonna be happy 24/7, pero
Yeah.
you're gonna be more happy than
Mhm.
not, you know? Like looking at you. You're living the life. People are looking at you and like, man, this guy, I wish I could have that. Wake up with a smile, do what you love,
Do what you love.
and go to sleep with a smile, and then you wake up the next day and don't feel like, I need to go to work.
Exactly.
That's
right?
Yeah. Oh,
it's
no.
not like it's like a good thing, something you look forward to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I come to work. Pues si se le puede llamar work, I don't feel like I'm working.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm here to have fun, you know,
Yeah.
and make music and the fact that I get to pay my bills with it is like,
But what kind of blessing is that? Like you own a
Yeah.
house paid for by doing something that's your passion.
that you
love to
like,
do.
yeah.
So I don't say you go to work, but you do work. You know, we
Yeah.
do work, we create, and we do this. But I don't consider it like
Work.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, like I always say, when I grew up, I want to be, and I'm like, damn, I'm already in my 40s, man.
When I grew
And
up.
I'm still saying that, you know?
That's a generation thing, no crees? I think because well, I don't know, because I remember when my dad was 40. I mean, well, 40. I'm a little bit older than that. But when he was my age, I always, ya lo miraba yo como un viejón, pues ya era un viejón, you know? Even in his 30s, ya era un señor que was about his thing. And I think the generation de ahorita ya como que somos un poquito más juveniles, or we have a younger
Or we
fucking-
grow up slower también.
Maybe
quizás.
that's what it is.
I
I
mean,
don't-
with YouTube, you know, and everything.
Yeah.
Es lo que me doy cuenta que muchos morros empiezan, you know, you see requinteros, for instance, or even not just músicos, pero videographers, you know,
Yeah.
directors that are very
Listen on
young.
YouTube, yeah.
YouTube University. you know.
Yeah.
YouTube University.
Hey,
Es la mejor escuela.
if you
For
want to learn, it's there. Google exists, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever
YouTube is
you-
there. Lo que quieras aprender, it's up to you.
Antes no teníamos YouTube.
No teníamos eso.
Ya nosotros escuchamos la canción en la radio, and we were talking about this on the way up, like, nos encantaban las voces del rancho. Ese dueto para nosotros era, well, they were one of the only ones that existed. Era para nosotros lo más mejor. Y sonaba ya, pues era Radio Láser y la
Radio
M y
Láser,
todo eso.
La M.
Y en cuando,
Ventura
está, cuando tocaba la canción, you press play and record y se grababa el tape, right?
Yeah.
Y luego we would hear it back y aprendíamos las canciones. That's how we had to do it, man.
That's how it was.
Yeah, that was one of the first songs we learned,
We'd
man.
play it back.
Damn.
We'd record off the radio and play it back.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Y
we'd
si el
go.
pinche DJ empezó con los saludos, and it's like,
He'll mess up your whole track, no?
Yeah,
Un
you
saludo
gotta
en
like
medio.
rewind it. And
Or the tag del radio station.
Yeah. Or when they go to commercial, you press play on the tape that we had recorded earlier because Voz del Rancho was. And then when we go to the swap meet, compramos los discos, and that's how we would learn. Like just.
y ahora
Listening.
tienen YouTube, mucho más fácil. Man,
Mucho
imagine
más
we had
fácil.
YouTube growing up.
Bro, we'd be
Shit.
virtuosos.
Las
A
herramientas,
little
¿no?
Mozart right here, man.
I mean, that's why these young kids. One of the reasons is they're so good, is because they have that tool, that resource, that didn't really exist back in the day. So
No,
there's
for sure.
great musicians, and they're little kids, and I don't even think they understand musically what they're doing. But you're just like, damn, this fool is
pesados.
bad.
I think also that has to do a lot with the músicos that are coming out, you know, por decir, like the ones that have motivated, like the new generation of músicos, they keep raising the bar, you know, like you say like a Marito, like that fucking just raise the bar for all the accordion players. So now all the accordion players go on YouTube and they look at a video of Marito and they practice to that.
They want to look at, they find the best, you know.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
practice to that, as in opposed to before, pues lo que había era lo que salía en la radio, and that's
Yeah.
it. There was no YouTube or maybe on TV, but even then, you know, it was just very limited, no? How did you guys start in la música? Because your dad is a músico, no?
Yeah, él tenía su grupo con sus hermanos, pero música de Veracruz, música jarocha,
jarocha.
con arpa, jaranas, como guitarras chiquitas y un requinto. Y ellos empezaron en los 70s, viendo las películas de la época de oro, and so they would get inspired by that.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to play that music, and so they would travel to México to learn y aprender esa música, y formaron ese grupo. Y cuando nosotros crecimos en los 80s, we wanted to be like our dad. So mi papá tenía su arpa y yo caminaba, me apoyaba en la arpa, lo que me contaba, and también mi hermano, y we
You
feel
would
the
feel
vibrations.
the vibration. Yeah, so then
Yeah.
see, you felt the vibrations.
He made it hard for me before I was born.
Yeah.
So I came out and ahí tenía la arpa.
Ya está lista.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, ándale.
That's crazy.
One time we were, it was like, I don't know, Telemundo or Univision or someone's at the house interviewing, doing a story, and they're interviewing my dad. You know what? I think it was for Sábado Gigante, huh? They interviewed the parents and everything. So they're interviewing my dad, and one of the questions was like, como somos 5 hermanos y luego una hermana. Somos 6 en total, and we all play in the group together. And like, how, to ask my dad, like, how did you get 6 of your kids to all do music and want to do music? And my dad's answer, I don't know if I believe it, but my dad's answer was like, oh, bad parenting. And I'm just seeing it, I'm like, wow, my dad's like the greatest father
Yeah.
in the world, dude. And I was like, bad parenting? He's like, yeah, like, they want to play and play with each other, and I didn't buy them any toys. I just bought them instruments and said, you want to play? Here's a guitar, here's a jarana, here's a requinto, here's a harp. Go play with your brothers. And I was thinking back, and I was like, is that how it went down?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think we just like empezamos. He would put instruments in our hand, and he wouldn't like, oh, you bang it? I don't care. You drop it, I don't care. You're learning, you're figuring it out.
For sure.
And he would teach us that it was valuable to like take care of your instruments. And then he would take us everywhere him and our tios would play. And they had some cool gigs back in the day. Like they were playing at Disneyland
Oh, nice.
or like nice
Se iban a
festivals. Nueva York. Y nos llevaba. My dad was like,
Wow.
I'm going to get paid this much. It's going to cost me this much to take my family, but I'm going to take my family.
The experience.
And the experience is what led us to want to be like our dad and our tios, and having all the instruments in the house already. We didn't have to ask for anything because it was there. So así, yo creo que así empezamos. And our first official show ever on the stage, we opened up for Los Lobos.
Wow.
A little after, maybe like not a little after, but maybe like 4 or 5 years after La Bamba had come out.
They were still hot.
Oh, they were hot.
yeah.
They were
They were
hot.
hot
They were on
commodity.
world tours. Los
Yeah.
Lobos were on world tours, and us, we opened up. How old were you? What grade were you in?
I must have been 9.
Oh shit.
If he was 9, I was 7, and the next brother was 5, and then the fourth brother was 3.
Pero ya teníamos 4 años tocando. Like,
That's like some Jackson 5 shit right there.
Yeah.
The article they wrote after that
Yeah.
show, they called us the Herrera 4.
Damn.
You've heard of the Jackson 5? Well, let us introduce you to the Herrera 4. Because at the
That's
time there was
badass.
4. Y así empezamos, and that was a long time ago. So
yeah, late 80s maybe? Algo así,
I
man.
find that fascinating because, like, how do you get all the brothers to be passionate?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
You know?
because I mean, out of everybody, there could have been one that's like, you know, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want. You
yeah,
know? Or some people are artistic in different ways. You know,
For sure.
But the fact that all of you guys got into it, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
you
doesn't
know?
make no sense to me. I just keep thinking back on my dad's story, bad parenting. But I'm like, he has some crazy trick up his sleeve
Yeah,
to pull this off and make it happen. And then they also asked my dad about, because we all have careers, so we don't look at music as like somos artistas. No somos artistas para nada. Somos músicos. Ni somos grupo. Somos una familia.
sí,
That's what we are. We're family
musical
of
family.
musicians.
Siento,
Yeah.
siento que
And
la
mus-
base es la disciplina que tienen.
Yeah.
Porque, I mean, you guys have professions, you know, not in the
Yeah.
music. And para que todos, you know, sepan un instrumento y
Yeah.
es mucha
Y
disciplina.
luego la educación para tener esa carrera, like we all graduated valedictorian, number 1 in the class.
Wow.
We all went to UCLA straight out of high school. Todos tenemos bachelors and masters, and he's about to get a PhD.
Wow.
And then so
That's
like they'll ask
awesome.
my dad, like, what's the secret again? Like, now education, because you told us bad parenting with music, and you didn't buy him toys, and you bought them instruments. So what about, like, cómo lo hiciste para que se ponieran las pilas en la escuela? And my dad's like, well, you hear like parents or teachers ask students, like, you want to go to college? You want to go to university? And he's like, I never asked my kids if they wanted to go. Because if you ask the question, you want to go? The answer could be no. He's like, I always ask them, where do you want to go? So now they feel like they're owning that.
Oh,
I'm going to go to UCLA because I'm a UCLA football fan.
yeah.
I'm going to go to UCLA because I'm a UCLA basketball fan. I'm going to go here because,
Yeah,
you know? So my dad's like, it's all on how you ask the question,
The approach.
the approach. And I'm just like, fuck, my dad's a genius. And my mom too. My mom, there's just like your ladies behind you, behind the
Yeah.
scenes. I think that's the most like powerful support you can have.
Oh yeah,
So my
Sure.
mom gets all the credit. También with my dad
Sure.
together, they're like the dream team of parents, and we just try to live up to
Power couple.
the power couple right there.
yeah. I think that de alguna manera yo pienso también que maybe the music, I mean the discipline that you guys gained through doing music, you kind of applied it to your studies and who was the first one to go to UCLA? Was that you?
Me,
Mayor.
we
Yeah,
all
so
went in
you-
order, yeah.
So you set the bar. So after Jorge was
No.
like, we, you know.
But
yeah.
eso sí, like, I think they were hard on me, like, they were hard on everybody. But, like, I think if I go in there and set the bar, we were so close that a huevo had to go to UCLA.
Yeah.
We're so close that brother number 3, El Mikey, had to go to, and Juan Pablo, and Jose Marcelino, and my sister. Like,
Yeah.
we're so close, like, you just have to.
Yeah.
Uno nunca dijo, nah, yo me voy pa' acá. O,
Yeah.
I think by close means like we're each other's best friends.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like, he
mean?
was my best man at
Yeah.
my
Like
wedding.
we're literally each other's best friends. So if my best friend went there, I almost
Ahí
want
lo-
to.
ahí lo voy a seguir, yeah.
Like, why'd you go to UCLA? And in my head, I'm like, honestly, I didn't even go for the education. I went to go hang out with my best friend.
That's tight.
Or like, I went to go sit in Play Pavilion and watch basketball games because that's my favorite team.
And we had crazy times there because then we were roommates for like 4 or 5 years.
Ay, güey.
And
sí,
then
sí.
my other brother came, and then we at one point there was like 4 or 5 of us there, man.
Four
Yeah.
hermanos, all students at UCLA. Some like master's program, graduate school, undergrad, but somos una escalera every 2 years.
Yeah.
Or every year and a half to 2 years. Yeah, my mom and dad sacaban como tortilla factory, you know?
Crazy.
Sí.
That must, man, the sense of
crazy.
pride. I'm sure that they feel like, you know, all of them from UCLA. That's amazing.
Oh, y otra cosa que, por ejemplo, aparte de que son buenos músicos, son musicazos. Todos los géneros que tocan, o sea, because I know you guys are norteño, you guys do also the norteño sax, you guys do
Con toloche. Así empezamos.
Sí.
Acústico, toloche.
How does
Before
that-
toloche got popular, that was our mero mole, just
Yeah.
toloche.
How do you get inspired by all these flavors?
Well,
per se?
we crecimos con música de Veracruz porque mi papá tocaba eso. Y luego cuando yo tenía como unos 10, 11 años, escuchamos un grupo de la parte norte de Veracruz y de Puebla y Tamaulipas que
Es
tocaban
diferente.
son huasteco, which is like, it's in the same region, pero es totalmente diferente y con violín. And we heard that and I said, told my dad, teach me that. I want
Yeah.
to learn that. And so he goes, all right, well, I can teach you a little bit. Y luego nos vamos a México y a aprender más. So we started playing those, and those were our two styles. Y luego entramos en la high school y pues there was always like, nos veían como raros porque tocábamos pues música de folclore, música tradicional. And people were like, like. Nowadays it's so cool to play music.
Oh, yeah.
Pero antes no, man.
Like,
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
at the time, we're playing Son Huasteco, and there was not one trio in the United States
Yeah,
of
there
Son
was
Huasteco
nobody.
Yeah.
except us. Éramos los únicos que tocaban Son Huasteco.
Yeah.
So then our friends, the funny part is we get to high school, and our friends, Mexicanos, are just like,
La Arrolladora was hitting. Chalino had already,
Yeah.
passed.
Voces del
You
Rancho
guys
was
were
hitting.
Yeah.
Banda La
Shit.
Auténtica del Pavido Návido. It
Oh,
was like that era,
yeah,
right?
it was that era, yeah.
Like late 90s.
El Coyote,
2000.
Julio Preciado, y
So our
unos
friends-
amigos like, hey, toquen música. They would tell us, play real Mexican music.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, in
You're
my
that's
head,
as
I'm like,
Mexican as
dog, you don't even know, because son jarocho is like 400 years old,
Yeah.
maybe. Huasteco is like 300 years.
Real
Y la
Mexican.
música norteña apenas tiene 100 años,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know?
Sí.
You're like, this is as real as it
Like-
fucking gets.
They don't know, though. Nobody
Yeah.
knows.
But
you
we
know?
understood, and we understood what they
Sí.
meant.
I know what they meant. Like, hey, música que nos haga
Well,
bailar.
but it was like
Yeah.
pop culture at the time, right? O
Yeah,
sea,
it was.
So ahí, I mean, you guys liked it también, ¿no?
We
Pues, o
loved
sea,
it, yeah.
entonces,
Mi mamás de Jalisco, man. We love those
Pura
rancheras.
Yeah.
rancheras. We grew up listening to rancheras.
And my dad's from Durango,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know? So we went to
Sure.
Callejones in downtown y me compré un acordeón de tecla.
Ahí en el perro.
Como,
sí.
fuimos al perro. Y
Compró un acordeón de tecla porque tocaba piano.
ya tocaba
Yeah.
piano.
Oh, so it was an
Easy-
easy
easy
transition, no?
transition.
Yeah, y él se compró su bajo sexto y el toloche y la tarola. And yo creo teníamos 2 semanas tocando y mi mamá got us
$1
a gig.
million.
Yeah. My mom
Nah,
got
just
us a
play.
gig, yeah.
Shout out to my compa Oscar.
Yeah.
You remember Lechuga?
Yeah, the
Lechuga's the one that
Ahí-
sold.
yeah, he sold me my second accordion there, you know.
And a couple years later, we're haciendo La Puente and we're watching Cumbre for the first time. Cumbre Norteña. Shout out to Jose Lechuga. He has a song that we wrote that's coming out at the end of September.
Oh, nice.
He has a lot of songs. But
Yeah.
the first one's coming out at the end of September. But we're sitting there, we're like freshmen, sophomore UCLA, and we're just like in the club.
Yeah, my
And-
dad didn't know we go to clubs, man.
Yeah.
Hey, pa, ya no vamos a dormir.
Voy a la biblioteca a estudiar, and then
And
we'd go
boom,
to
we
the
go to
club.
Lidos.
¿Por qué traes botas?
We're there,
Hacienda La Puente.
we're there at Lidos or Hacienda La
Went
Puente.
to
And this,
Lidos that night.
and this guy's like,
$5 Thursdays, man.
this guy's like, guy singing, sold me my accordion. We're like, no. After they got off, he goes up to me like, you work at La Casa del Perro? And then Lechuga's kind of like, yeah, dude. You sold me my accordion. Like, we're just like,
And we started following them. I'm like, damn, this band is so good.
La
You
voz
guys
de
are
ellos,
the
yeah.
badass.
Yeah, so we started playing more norteño at like late high school, and in college we met friends que también eran estudiantes que tocaban norteño, and like we just started getting more into it and playing all the nightclubs. And our youngest brother todavía estaba en la high school.
Shit was funny. We're all athletes too. So we all grew up playing sports, multiple sports, and four of us are at UCLA, and then my youngest brother, the one that plays the sax, was like a junior in high school. So we drive. We lived in Westwood. We lived
Yeah.
off campus. So we drive all the way to Fillmore, and it's like a Thursday night, and we're watching my brother kill it on the basketball court, and like 20 points a game. It was really good. And after the game, ni se bañaba, huh?
No.
And we're like, come on, we
Ponía
gotta
el
hop in the
saco.
car. Well, the sax is already in the car, and se ponía el vestuario de Hermanos Herrera, and we'd go drive to
La
whatever,
Sierra or whatever.
Leonardo's or whatever club, you know?
Yeah.
So we'd drive from Westwood to watch his basketball game. After the basketball, we'd take him,
Yeah.
we'd play at a club, And then we'd go back home and drop him off because he had school on Friday.
Oh shit.
And he's quiet and he's studious. I mean, like I said, valedictorian #1 in the class. And he's just sitting in class, like in calculus first period, like
Zombied out.
zombied out.
Yeah.
Like
And I don't think anybody knew that he played nightclubs.
his friends would be
Yeah.
like, you guys are all bloodshot. Like, what happened? He's like, I was at a club till like 2 a.m. last night.
They're like, yeah, right.
I got home like at 4 a.m. and slept like 2 hours. And now I'm in calculus. And the friends would be like, you're funny, dude. Like, no, because he was like such a good kid and quiet, calladito. And so for about 2 years while he was in high school, así era la.
But he toughed it out and he did it.
He loved it.
He loved it, man.
He loved it.
We played all the clubs too, all the weekends,
Like
bars.
tripletes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was like a good like 2 to 3 years of our life. Luego we're like, okay, the club.
We never met you guys, but we opened for you guys like here in Santa Barbara. Then we went to
shit.
this place, and then they were gonna come here. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was years late, a couple years later when we met you.
Yeah. Oh shit.
We did that for about 2-3 years. And then we're like, yeah, life is not for us.
It's not.
Like, no, we don't need the spotlight. We don't need any of that.
It's
you know?
hard, man. You know, those
It's a tough
nightclubs are
life.
hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that circuit it gets hard, man. It gets hard. I remember yo tocaba before the whole thing with voices popped off. Tocaba en una banda y tocábamos miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado y domingo.
Jeez.
I would win $40 a night. Y tocábamos like 3 or 4 tandas. And I would be
night.
like, fuck,
Yeah.
dude, that was.
I mean, igual, estamos en Lidos, ahí era de
Thursday.
jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo y lunes.
Oh shit.
That's a nasty schedule.
Oh yeah.
Y éramos estudiantes. We're at UCLA at the time.
Oh my God.
And you got like midterms, you got to write a paper. And honestly, at the time, we loved it because any excuse to leave school,
Yeah.
you know? Sometimes we'd be like, oh, Rayo Láser Festival up in Hollister.
Yeah.
Van a abrir para el Tigrillo Palma, like whatever song you had at the time, 24's
Yeah.
hitting. Or like, we'd drive from Westwood all the way up to Hollister.
Wow.
We'd play at midnight. Tigrillo Palma play at 1. We'd catch a couple songs, like, what? And then we'd drive all the way back because we had a class like at 9 in the morning or something. So I think we burned ourselves out, you know?
Yeah.
Vegas. Play Vegas. Go to Vegas. And
Mira,
allá,
ya
like,
no empiezan hasta las 4 de la mañana.
first
you know?
set is 3 in the
Ay,
morning.
están cabrones
Yeah.
allá.
You know? 3, like, clubs are closing here at 2. Allá, if you don't play after 2, you're not the main event.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So andamos en Las Palmas or whatever clubs
Fort
back in the
Cheyenne,
day.
remember?
For shit,
I
yeah.
can smell it right now, like,
Yeah.
I see the
you know,
cigarette.
era como...
Old, musty.
Yeah, más.
Pero- And our dad was like, todos mis hijos están juntos.
Yeah.
I don't gotta worry about nothing.
Yeah.
They take care of themselves because their whole life they've been looking out after each other. And we wouldn't even get a hotel room, dude. Íbamos, like we'd play un kermés en una iglesia or un festival.
En San Fernando.
At
y
5
luego-
p.m. in San Fernando. And then 3 in the morning at Las Palmas con Félix Fragoso.
and then driving back.
And then we drive back.
yeah.
Así andamos like the sun's coming up. And we're like,
Damn.
Así andamos. They would sleep, man. Yo
Él andaba, él andaba así.
Del Big Brother manejando.
¿Eran los 4 o
5.
Los
Eran
5.
los 5 hermanos.
Yeah.
Minus our sister Becca, because
Yeah.
she didn't have permission to go to
Go out
clubs
in
until
clubs,
after a
yeah.
while.
Yeah.
It took us, maybe like the 3rd year, my dad's like, okay, because she wanted to go,
Sí.
The first club we ever played at was in our town. There's no clubs in our town. Our town is small. There's like a couple traffic lights and there's no hospital, no movie theater, nothing like that. But we go to the town gym and all the brothers, we do everything together. So there's 5 brothers and our sister. Some of us are at UCLA. We had just started and most of them were still in high school. My sister's like middle school. And we lift weights and we're driving home and there's a small little bar on the way home.
The Cespi Saloon.
The Cespi Saloon, and we stop.
Además, hay como para amarrar los caballos ahí. Like
It's like the size of this room. The whole bar is
that
this room.
Shit.
And we stop at the stop sign and we hear norteñas but live.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
I roll down the windows and we just parked there for a while. And we're like
and then I get off y le digo.
in gym shorts and a
yeah, I had a
cutoff.
tank top and all. And the guy was like, well, let me talk to the manager really quick. He goes, hey, I got a norteño band. ¿Nos da chance? He goes, sí, cáiganle. ¿A qué horas? And I said, right now.
Oh,
So
shit.
we went home and we got our clothes on and we came back.
This guy runs out of the gym. He's like, he says he's going to give us a chance. It was like out of a movie.
Yeah.
He says he's going to give us a chance. And nosotros, órale. And we go home. and we shower and we get, and like, we kind of had to be sneaky about it, because if we were to tell my mom we're going to the Sesame Saloon and we're all underage,
Yeah, como que no.
and they're como que, like, I think we told them we're going to Carl's Jr., no sé qué. And we show
With
up
bien vestidos.
con nuestros instrumentos. With the, you know, the leather jackets, the Wessel color, like, you know. And we walk in, and they're just some OG, old school norteños.
Yeah, they
you
were
know?
all in their 60s, 70s, man.
Yeah.
With the big patillas.
The
así.
place was
Yeah.
empty, you know. You know the twang from the old school amp with
Yeah.
balsecto, like that. Y luego go ahead, take the stage and shoot, and we plug in.
They're like, be my guest.
Yeah, be my
those that were
guest.
like,
No nos
al cabo,
paga, casi
no
nos
les
paga.
van a pagar a ustedes, you know?
Yeah.
We're just taking a break, and you guys are working for us. But we're all excited, and like those 3 people there, and we started playing, and it's a small town. The flip phones start coming out, and they're like calling. And before, it's a small town, so before you know it, the place was like standing room only. Because they were just like,
shit.
hey, come over here, hey. We're playing like a lot of Arraigados del Norte songs. So we
Yeah.
had the sax.
The
and,
sax.
and the bartender, the owner was also the bartender. And then people were buying us cubetas. Boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
and you guys were
boom.
youngsters.
Huh?
You guys were
Yeah, we
youngsters.
can't drink.
We were
you know?
minors.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, gracias. And then we finished the set, and we walked like 8 cubetas, 8 times 6. I don't know how much the cubetas cost, but we walk them back to the owner, bartender, and we're like, hey, no tomamos. And his eyes just got big. He's like, you guys want to come back tomorrow?
He goes,
Because they were
"Aquí me
buying.
dan las cubetas y
Yeah.
yo soy sodas.
Oh.
And
Se
we're
las cambio por
"Damn,
sodas."
That's a good deal, bro. Like, you pay for soda?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So this guy was like selling a cubeta because they were giving it to us.
Yeah.
We'd give it back to him, and he'd sell the cubeta again. So he was selling
he
2. He was like the price of 2, but it was one
Yeah.
cubeta because he was just reselling because we weren't.
Yeah.
So this guy's like, he wanted us to like be there all weekend.
Yeah, and nos dijo, hey, I got you guys $700. And I was like, dude, we're gonna make $700 tonight. Pues no, todo el fin de semana. And I said,
Oh, what the fuck?
Take
And
it or
some,
leave
you
it.
like and some sodas? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You gotta do-
We thought about it though, 'cause
we
we
did
had
think
fun.
about it, man.
At the end of the day, it's
I
like,
was like, my mom's gonna find out sooner or later.
yeah.
We can't do it, you know.
I
not
think
even
some
old
of
enough
our
to be
friends
in here.
actually showed up and stuff. My mom's gonna get a phone call right now.
Did she find out or no?
Probably right now she'll find out. When
She'll
Check
watch
it out.
this, yeah. Like my dad didn't find out until way later that we were going to clubs when we were at UCLA. We'd do interviews and stuff, and we're sharing like how we got into the
Yeah.
music and stuff. My dad's like, "That I was sending you guys to UCLA to learn," and we're like, "Well, I mean,
we need a little bit of time off, not
yeah,
that.
balance, you know,
Yeah.
hit the books and then hit the dance floor. I don't know, pero
So music for sure has taken you on a journey. You know, I know you guys were part of also one of the first virals, right?
All right.
Tell us about that.
that was like 11 or 12 years ago. Instagram wasn't even a thing yet.
Culpable soy yo?
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
a song called Culpable Soy Yo, and I think it just came out again like a couple weeks ago with Julian Mercado.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's right.
So that song came out with like 50 groups
Yeah, like everybody.
after the
recorded
viral
songs.
video. So
But when viral wasn't really happening a lot, it was like the first ones, right? Como
yeah, like we didn't even know what the word viral really
viral.
meant. You know, we
Yeah.
thought it was like a disease.
It sounds like that, right?
When
Yeah.
it went viral, I said, "I wait, give
Damn.
So
me some antibiotics."
damn, yeah, penicillin or something to kill it. Pero
how was that?
It was cool. I remember it was during the summer of like 2012.
mhm.
Y en el 2009 grabamos un disco de norteñas con sax. Y en ese disco estaba una canción que se llamaba Culpable Soy Yo. One of my songs, a couple of his songs, you know. And I guess when that song came out, there was a little morrillo en ¿de dónde es? Zacatecas, algo así.
No, Zapopan.
Zapopan.
Jalisco,
yeah.
Yeah.
Y que I guess que le gustó mucho el disco. And, you know, y él tenía, me imagino, unos 10, 11 años quizás. Y lo grabaron a él cantando esa canción con bajo sexto. Su hermano tocó el bajo sexto y él la cantó con una voz bien alta.
Yeah.
Y it was raw and it was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
En su cama, en un rancho allá en Jalisco. And next thing you know, that video gets like 100, 200, 500,000 views like in that day.
Shit. That
Pero era
day.
en
Facebook.
Facebook, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people like, I remember I get home and because we didn't have internet, you know, we check the phones on the internet and
Yeah.
what is this? Like, people tagging me, and I saw that video. I was like, oh, that's our song that we recorded,
And it wasn't just
Yeah.
like one video that went viral. It was like 100
Multiple.
different people and
Sharing it.
pages that posted it, and
Yeah.
all of those were also blowing up. So we're like famous people were like reposting it. It was like the first time that people were like reposting. It was like one
He
of the first.
sung really well, man.
Yeah,
Sang-
I remember. I didn't know that was you guys' song.
Y luego aparte,
That's crazy.
he was young. Aparte estaba como en un cuarto where it looked like de raíces humildes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Como que no tenía como de raza chambeadora, and that's who we root for, right? Like you don't have it made, it wasn't handed to you. Y aparte, like cantaba con una sonrisa. Like some of us look
Yeah, like,
mean when we sing, or we make faces when we sing.
Or like not
Like
having
me,
fun.
you know, like damn, move around, dance. Look like you're having fun. They always tell us that
Smile
because
or
we're always like
something. yeah.
serious, and this guy just looked like a little angel, and the voice matched it.
yeah.
And that video blew up, and then we're just like, damn, that's crazy. Luego, como a los 2 días, we get a phone call from Universal, Fonovisa Universal. And we're like, what the hell? They want to sign us? Like,
Yeah.
shit, we made it. What? I don't even know why they're calling us. And they're just like, hey, esta canción culpable soy yo. What's the deal? I'm like, what do you mean? It's number 2 on iTunes right now. Like your song. And the album came out 3 years ago. 3 years later, the song went to number 2.
Your version.
Yeah,
Ours, from
Yeah.
our album, because nothing else had been released
Yeah.
yet. And we're like, wow, there was this little kid that sang it, and the video went viral. And like, viral, what's that? And so we started explaining Facebook and this and that. I think like that was probably one of the first moments where like a big record label opened their eyes to the power of social media.
Wow.
And Universal signed them. They signed
On the kid.
our, Heru.
Pero.
And even like our music video at the time probably had like less than 100,000 views. And
oh,
no
it
matter,
had like 40K.
yeah,
Why
we were
not?
nobody,
Yeah.
back then YouTube, and it went from 40K to like 1 million in like that week.
Wow.
And back then 1 million was a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not, YouTube wasn't the platform that it is
And
now.
all the comments.
All the comments like
Oh, man.
like
Or
Yo nomás llegué aquí por el morrito.
El Morro canta mejor, and I was like, he was getting pissed off because like, see,
I was
like
getting
hell
all,
yeah,
Like, sad, man.
sí canta mejor, and I was liking all the comments, and I would show him and say,
Y luego
ahorita
había
él.
unos que decía, copiones, ¿por qué andan? And I'm like, check the date, bro. Like, that's
Yeah.
3 years before.
Yeah.
All the backlash from it.
Oh, it was nasty.
You can't
know?
read the comments, bro. The comments will kick your ass, bro.
Oh man, that was our
Yeah.
first experience with like angry, hateful comments because we're always
We're always nice to
giving,
people,
we're
and,
nice.
You get the
Like,
keyboard
no.
warriors and
Yeah.
yeah, bro. They be talking shit on there, bro.
Y'all suck. And I was like, oh, wait, like, damn.
Pinche compiones.
Meet me
and-
outside.
Yeah.
I'll go there right now.
And so that song took off with that. That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
then
he's
after,
still, he's still doing it. He recorded one of our songs a year or 2 ago, con banda, con cada segundo. Remember?
yeah,
Yeah, he has a beautiful voice still. Like no,
Yeah.
you would think, a uno se le cambia la voz y se le
Yeah.
cambia así bien. No, pero a él todavía sigue.
Yeah.
he's one of my favorite artists that records us because he always does like a really, 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 really good job. So it's always like when I listen to his versions of our songs, I was like, "Damn,
So you guys remain in
song."
contact with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we never met him, pero siempre
He's very
like,
humble, man. Like,
Yeah.
he's very,
You guys have not met him yet?
nunca.
Oh, wow.
Y desde hace mucho, everyone was like, tienen que hacer un dueto, tienen que sacar un dueto, hagan la canción juntos, and
You guys gotta make it happen.
We should just do it here.
Yeah.
lo
bro.
invito para acá.
Yeah,
lo
mételo
hacemos.
pa' acá, que lo hacemos.
He has so much energy cuando canta. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
heard him sing live, pero sí.
I saw that. I remember seeing that video, the little video, that video you're talking about. I just found out like today that was your guys' song.
Yeah.
That's insane.
and then
then-
everybody recorded after that. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know how many, like 20, 30, 40 bands. Like,
Yeah.
put it
A
out.
lot of them.
Wow.
It became the viral thing to do,
Sí, sí. Yeah, but hablando de canciones, you guys had a #1 song with Regleros, no? Recently?
Los Herreros del Norte.
How was that, man? What was that experience like?
Gosh. Well, we're always sending songs. Mi hermano se encarga de mandar las canciones por WhatsApp a quien sea. Y,
Or email, como sea.
yeah, y yo, hey, esta que escribimos, buena para los rileros o para quien sea, tigres, whatever. Y que le mandamos canciones y a veces responden y a veces no. Y luego, years pass y luego, hey, me gusta esta canción. dijo Daniel, el cantante, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, and he calls me, hey, Relevos are gonna record a song. I was like, damn, because those were our, like, we love voces del rancho, but my dad took us to our very, like, first baile, así, con rieleros y banda la tunera, if you remember them.
Yeah,
Ramón
Banda
Ayala,
Tunera,
creo.
yeah.
Coronel Reina
Coronel
Jr.
Reina Jr.
Temerarios. That was the
Yeah.
first baile we went to. All together.
That's a sick-ass
estaban
paquete.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
paquete.
Ventura County
They brought
Fairgrounds.
their own
Yeah.
stage. That's how big Releros were.
Wow.
They were on stage with Temerarios, Ramon. Nah, they
This
brought
was
their
the
own
Te Quiero
escenario.
Mucho
Yeah.
era.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Te Quiero Mucho. That was like right there. That was,
That's crazy. That song they recorded in the next studio, Studio B.
No way.
yeah?
Yeah.
Damn.
That album was recorded in that studio, Studio B.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
Full
I heard that
circle
they were
moment.
gonna like record, and I said, man, because those guys are like a musical idols. We had played with them many
Yeah.
times, you know, like.
They're amazing ass people too.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very
Super cool.
They're very humble. They're like, you know, I've learned all the best musicians are the ones that are the most humble.
Yeah.
So he told me they're recording it, and then, oh, that's awesome, man. Like, damn, like, told my wife, hey, man, Rileros are recording my song. That's crazy.
But then when I told them, I was like, man, I hope they actually record it. Because, you know, a veces dicen, me gusta, la voy a grabar, o this, y nunca la
Yo
graban,
no
o no
pensé,
llega el
porque era un
momento.
bolero.
Yeah.
And I was like, no graban boleros, man.
Yeah.
And y luego, like, pasan unos meses, and he comes to my house. And
Fuck.
like, it was like midnight, and he knocks on the door, and I was like, hey, wait, go to the door. And he's all, dude, come to your car right now. And so I go in the car, and he plugs it in, the phone, and we turn it on. And right off the bat, reconozco el estilo de Rileros. And I said, all right. And like, se me enchinó la piel, and I heard our song. I was like, it was just like a phone to the speaker. You
Yeah.
know? It wasn't like the actual.
When Danielito sent the son, the accordion player now,
Yeah.
when he sent it to me, it was just like un pedazo, like it was actually like about a minute
Yeah.
of them playing it through the studio speakers, and he was just
Yeah.
recording his phone and just
No mix,
the
nada.
emoji,
Yeah.
like no
Yeah.
le digas a nadie. And the message came through. I'm like, oh, he sent me an audio. Nunca mandan audios. Like, it's late at night, and my wife is sitting back here. I'm sitting on the floor, and I press play. Like 10 seconds go by, I just started crying.
Oh,
Like
man.
my
Emoción.
favorite band of all time
Is recording.
recorded our song, and for
That's
me, I don't care. Like, I honestly didn't care if the song didn't ever come out, porque I had
Yeah.
it right there, and that was like my trophy.
That was already.
That was
Yeah.
that was my pride. That was like my prize, and I was like, si me muero mañana, hell yeah.
Ya me grabaron los rileros.
I mean, that's how special
Damn.
Relevos del Norte are to us, and then so I go to his house, I play it for him, and he just like, we're in the car, like, no way, I'm like punching each other, like, the car is shaking like at midnight. Todos los hermanos menos el menor viven en Fillmore.
Yeah.
Call the phone, Mikey, third brother number 3, come outside right now. So we're driving, go to his neighborhood, and he comes out in his freaking slippers and una bata, I don't know. He lives in the upscale neighborhood, so
He
Yeah.
probably had about that.
he probably had like Uggs or something, you know, a little fancy. He sale para afuera and he gets in the car, and we press play. He's like, "Is that like Relevos del Norte's new song or what?" And we're like, "We wrote it!" And he's like, "No!" And
Like, it wasn't his song, and he was
Yeah.
so happy.
He was excited.
I was excited.
And then we call Juan Pablo, brother number 4. Juan Pablo, where are you? Home way. Come outside. And we hear his wife.
Yeah.
Juan Pablo, who is that? I'm like, dude, just come outside right now. And then he comes outside, and we're like, you have your passport? And he's like, what? And we take off. He's like, what?
That's crazy.
Like, just kidding, man. Just
Kidding.
listen,
We
bro.
park and we play the song, and también got super excited. And we're like, the car
Bad,
shaking, and we
fucking
call
badass.
Becca, our sister, también. Becca, come outside. I just put the baby seat. Perfect, come outside. God, we drive to her house, and it was like a whole. Did we end up
Yeah.
going to the ranch también? Wake up
I
our
don't know. I
parents?
didn't want to wake up my dad. I don't think we did. The next day we showed him though, and then luego pasa otro mes y luego le habla a Daniela, mi bro. Ey, que va a ser el sencillo, dije.
Damn.
No
Like,
manches.
Y
I was
grabamos.
already ready to die just for
Yeah.
it to be on the album.
On the
you know?
album, yeah.
Y que va a ser el sencillo, le dije, oh shoot, that's cool. And then, so the song comes out, and I'm freaking blasting it on my Instagram, like, damn, my song with
Yeah.
Riveros, like, el video, this and that. Like, couple weeks go by, this guy goes, dude, we're on the top 100 on Billboard. And I said, whatever. Like, I think, we've probably had a song there too, you know.
Yeah.
Like, And then next thing you know, like, dude, we're #1 on Billboard. And I said, what?
the fuck?
And like, I don't like, I tell people this, and the people say, you'll get another one. But like, to get #1 on Billboard, like, it most likely will probably never happen again. You know, like, that's so crazy. I don't know. I don't know, man. But we got #1 on Billboard, and like, you know, the good people at Seaside gave me like a plaque with like
Yeah.
right there, and put it in my office, and I was just like,
El
damn,
mío nunca vino de BMI.
yeah, he's
That's
BMI
deep.
and I'm Seaside, you know.
Oh shit.
¿Te
That's deep.
invitaron a los premios? este año?
Tampoco, man. I had a
Bro,
#1.
we
ni
were
me-
eating filet
Ni
mignon.
me invitaron.
Okay. Oh shit. I'm from BMI though. Shout out guys. Oh,
I used to sit front row when Cristina and Delia were there, pero no sé qué pasó.
But yeah, I hit #1 and I was like, jeez, man. And then a couple months later, like I would hear on the radio all the time, people would be tagging me, and I'm like, that's so crazy, man. A couple months later, I'm driving and we're here like the Conteo, whatever, the Monitor Latino with Javier, what's his name? Romero,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
El guy de Sábado Gigante, and he's like, the #2 song this week, and yo no estaba, you know, poniendo atención, and then sale una norteña, and I'm just like, yeah, that song's familiar, man.
Yeah.
So, that's my song. I was like, why is it still up there, dude? Like, I thought it peaked and it
Yeah,
left.
left.
And it was
peaked
still
and
up
hung
there.
around, and then like one of the weeks it just went
Went
almost
up
back
again.
up to #1 again. Was at #2.
Wow.
So the royalty checks have been nice. It's been like our first like experience with like good
Yeah.
royalty. So we're just like scratching our head, like, hey, we should write more songs
Yeah.
That might
because
be a
we
good
love
idea,
it.
no?
It's not like, and honestly, it's just like creating something is very enjoyable. And then like when you actually lock in the song and you hear how the group interprets it, it's like a very gratifying. Se siente bonito. We don't care about, because we all have our careers and stuff like that, you know. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't get any spins or any streams or generate any income. It just feels good. It feels like we created that
Yeah.
from scratch. Like
yeah,
that was.
porque es arte, and you can't like really grade it sometimes, you know. Like,
Yeah.
is it good or is it bad? It's
Yeah.
just art, and you know.
And especially if you base it off of how it does, you know,
Yeah.
with the people. I always say that too. Like I've done albums for people or songs for people que no pegaron, but I still enjoy just as much. You know, I don't know if I don't think I would have enjoyed it more if hubiera pegado. No, I just enjoy it because to me it's a good piece of music. So I mean, a good piece of music will always be a good piece of music, regardless of si pega or no pega.
That's the
Exactly.
passion.
Yeah, it's the
We feel the
passion.
same way. It's like, like, doesn't even matter if it si pega or no. Just like, first of all, if it's an artist you look up to and you always admire and you listen to,
Yeah,
that's just like, man, that makes you feel so good. But then just hearing like, you know, like recently there were some salsa bands in Colombia that recorded like 2 of our songs, and the different salsa band was like, well, those songs are bad. And then they get in contact with us. So there's another salsa band recording our songs, and some merengues in República Dominicana recording our songs. Well, anyways, that's like a totally different genre. But they're posting videos playing like in front of like 100,000 people. It's like an ocean
Wow.
of people, and they're playing the song we wrote.
Yeah.
That I don't know if it's getting played on the radio or anything like that. Definitely not getting played here on the radio or anything like
Yeah.
that. But to like our music that we wrote, this whole orchestra
In a different.
is performing in front of 100,000
And then
people.
they sing it back.
And then they sing it
yeah.
back.
I'm like, I don't even know the lyrics.
You know? And that's almost more satisfying, I think, than like listening to your song on the radio, because you're like, I wonder who's actually even listening to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or who even likes it. But these 100,000 showed up. It's a massive
They
salsa
like it.
festival. And they loved it. And they're singing back. And I think we're doing radio promotion long time ago. And one of the songs that was getting played a little bit in the radio was a song I wrote. And we're playing at a nightclub up in like Modesto or something. And we played that song. And then the people were singing it back while we were on stage.
Oh,
And I think that was
the first time it
that was the
happened,
first
huh?
time it ever
Yeah.
happened for
I'm
us.
sure it's happened to you a lot, but
Yeah,
to us it hadn't happened.
Where they sing back to your songs.
The first
Yeah,
time was
the
crazy.
one you wrote too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was a thing that, you know, we would just write a couple songs to include in our own personal albums.
Right.
But now when we saw that, I think it was like it was just something that felt so good. It's like, I want to do more of that. And I don't care who sings. I don't care if it's the band around the corner that just started, or if it's somebody that's established, or someone that's in the middle. I don't care who. Like, music is supposed to be shared. So if you want a song and you love the song I wrote, it's yours. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, this is a good song, I'm gonna save it for Banda Mese. I'm not like that. Like,
if you like it,
pero también we have
make it
this
your own.
mentality que, man, esta canción está bien buena. ¿Por qué se la vamos a dar a este grupo? It's like, we'll make a better one.
yeah,
It's always like, all right,
for sure.
it puts pressure on you to make a better
Or
one.
sometimes we start off a song and like when we write, like, él es muy bien con sus palabras y yo soy muy bien con la melodía. So we'll write in a group and I'm like, and he's thinking of words, I'm over here thinking of melodies, and I'll think of something.
This is the name of the song. This is the chorus right here.
And then
this will go like, nah, screw that. We're gonna start the song right there with that one because you can only go up from there.
yeah, like if the song is already that, like, you know, the chorus is the main part, the best part. But if we start like that, then it has to get better. Man.
If the hook, el gancho ya.
De modo que empieza
mero
arriba y se
principio.
vaya para abajo.
Sí.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
If it takes long, but it's kind of slow to.
Yeah, también.
Yeah.
Do you guys start with melody or start with words? Or cada quien empieza por su lado?
Empezamos con una idea, like something he heard and I always make fun because my sister-in-law that lives with me, she's just graduated high school, and I always make fun and I say like, hey, tell me what's going on con el pinche novio, man. Let me guess. Remember we wrote a song, El DM. Remember we wrote a song, El DM, right? And that's that song I stole from your stories, you know, que se agüitó este porque te no sé qué, you know.
That's funny.
And so we just, like, any songwriter, like, you hear something in the news or un estudiante que diga algo. You know, right now we were talking to Bobby and he mentioned something like, what was the phrase he said? And Bobby goes, yeah, we should have a show like that and title it like this, you know, like.
La música, I told him something like, we're talking about like music as an art form. And then I was like, yeah, it's like he's talking about other genres outside of regional Mexican. He was talking about like soldies, like soul music and oldies, you know? He's like, I've been going to some of those shows lately and man, like the energy is different. I was like, I bet you, it's not like you show up to El Parral and then you're sizing people up like, this fool has a centenario, fool has botas blancas de avestruz, and it's almost like a competition amongst the people in the crowd, but also a competition amongst the people on the stage. It's become less of that recently, but in other genres of music, it's like straight up collaboration.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, yes. Bobby was like, yes. I was at the show and the whole lineup at some point was up on stage just jamming out the trumpet player from this band, and so he liked I was like, yeah, la música es convivencia, no es competencia. And then he's like, we're gonna do a ranch sessions and we're gonna call it La música es convivencia, no competencia, and we just invite everybody. And so Bobby has these ideas of like filming, putting something
That's
together.
how we get ideas, like from our students, from whatever. And
He's
a
on
lot
it.
of times él viene con, hey, hay que hablar de esto.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay. And then lo pongo en mute while he starts going with words because we do it a lot on Zoom, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo me pongo a,
Even though we're like live so close to each other,
Yeah.
it's become more productive and efficient when we're on Zoom.
Yeah.
porque en persona salen los tamales, sacamos los tamales y...
The side stories and
perdemos
tiempo.
So I'll come up with melodies and I'm like, all right, what you got? And then we start combining.
I love when he goes on mute because I'm like, oh, he's cooking right now, dude.
Yeah. You already know he's putting something together.
He's doing this and that, like chords. I'm just sitting there like, chingazo, that he can't hear me. Like, tú dale. And he'll come up with like beautiful chord progressions and melodies. And because we have influences from, we grew up listening to everything.
From Jose Alfredo, because my mom's from Jalisco, but ella nació en Jalos, Totitlán. Saludos a la gente de Jalisco, pero ella se crió acá en el condado de Ventura.
Yeah.
So she has a whole Jalisco behind her, pero también tiene en los 60s.
The Chicano, the oldies, the funk, the Motown.
So we drive with my dad y pura ranchera. Se escuchaba la ranchera 930.
La ranchera 930.
Yeah. Y luego cuando estábamos con mi mamá, K-Earth 101, que tocaban los oldies. You know, or there was another AM también. So I can't name all the oldie acts, but I can sing all the songs.
Yeah, you know him.
And so, de tantas influencias, I think that's why we're so, like, not eclectic, but like muy diverse
yeah.
En nuestros estilos musicales, you know.
What is next for Hermanos?
Well, we have an album that we already made, pero música jarocha, hablando de convivencia, we invited un artista de Mexico, and we have this album that we already made. I think we already mixed it. But we also have some norteñas that we already have one recorded. We're going to do some more. And we're not trying to fall into a category of norteño con sax or corrido o algo. Es más, la última canción que grabamos que no ha salido empieza con ukulele.
Yeah.
You know? And then
Change
it comes
it
in
up.
with like these power rock drums, you know?
That's
Yeah.
You know, hay que hacer música.
Yeah, there's no rules. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no rules.
No rules.
In reality, no rules. I think at some point back in the day, como que like you had to be norteño, you had to have the
La
norteño.
tejana puesta y
Yeah, y todo.
Ahorita se vale, ¿no?
Ahorita se vale, yeah.
I think
ahorita-
one of the excuses that the program directors would have, no, like that you go in there, you would go like Radalaza was on Tuesdays. You would go on Tuesday with our music, and we're just right there trying to. It was before we knew that you had to pay them,
Yeah.
Why don't they play our music,
Yeah,
man?
God damn, like
What's
what the
going on,
hell?
huh?
This is not art. This is better than what the crap they're playing. You know what I mean? And they always have like the excuses, like the stock excuses, and like, no es que tienen que definir su estilo.
Yeah.
Or like what with Pepe Garza is like, culpable soy yo. Did it not like hit? Did it not go viral? Did it not like,
Yeah.
¿sabes qué? Le falta este tema. Tienen que meter tuba. And we're just like, none of the brothers play tuba.
Like, it's already mastered, bro. Like, what do you want me to do? It's
Yeah,
already out.
you had the CD, dude. It's out.
¿O te acuerdas en Radio Láser nos dijo, no me gusta la tarola.
Uh,
Remix the snare. And I said, oh, and it was already out, mastered, right? So we come back, and I
The next
copy the
week.
CD, and I put snare mix.
On
On
a
the
burn
tuba.
CD.
And llega
Yeah.
to me and goes, ¿qué les dije?
¿Qué le dije?
Éxito.
Nah.
Ahora sí suena trancazo.
The placebo effect.
The placebo
And then
effect.
los voy a tocar 3 veces al día. Hell yeah. Shoot. They'll play us from midnight to 6 in the morning.
Ah, no.
You know, when you get
Obviously, we stay
when
up,
you get the
though.
reports and stuff. So then we'd be the ones calling like
The
"Hola."
BDS.
We're like, hola, yeah, BDS. ¿De dónde nos hablan? And we can't say Fillmore because in Ventura County, that's
where we
Hermanos
are.
Herrera. We tried changing our voice. De Moore Park. De Moore Park, ok. ¿Cuál canción quieren escuchar? La de Por ti con Hermanos Herrera. They're like, okay. Like, they wouldn't really play
They're not
it.
supposed to play it, but it's on the list.
Nos
you know?
dijeron que entre la medianoche y las 6 de la mañana podemos tocar esas canciones. Y we didn't have that, the
Yeah.
pay under the table and get your
Crazy.
song.
I used to do that with voices when we first started playing on the radio. I would call and pick my voices. Oiga, sí me tocan las voces del
Yeah.
rancho.
It didn't really
No,
work out
oiga,
for
quiero
us.
que me toque las voces del rancho.
Yeah.
So,
Call 5 times in a row. Like,
Yeah.
el público anda pidiendo voces
sí,
del
¿cómo
rancho.
no?
Yeah.
Es que antes usaba eso de complacencias. They don't
Yeah.
do that shit no
Yeah.
more. Do you do that
No,
shit over there?
En el Condado de Ventura sí lo hacen.
¿Sí lo hacen todavía?
La M is
La
old
M.
school.
La M, yeah,
La
la
M
M
is
more
an
old school.
old school station. Don't
Es
do
más,
that.
si uno pide una canción de los Bookies, no, esta es hora del corrido, ahorita no, and click.
Ay,
I'm like,
cabrón.
damn, dog.
Sorry.
My bad.
It's funny, man, but they still, and you still have those.
Hora del palenque, las voces del rancho contra Marco Antonio Solís. And you're like, how's that?
Próximamente.
How's that even a
I
battle?
know. Oh, fuck them up.
Hey, but you know what? Voces del rancho will win over there.
Over there,
Ventura
yeah.
County, ustedes rifan, so you guys will win over there.
Shit, that's funny.
Próximamente, El Ojo de Vidrio, la novela de la radio, they still play
Yeah.
novelas on radios out there, dude.
Oh, fuck.
If you want, go like in the time machine, step back in time.
Yeah.
Drive to Ventura County, 103.7, La M, and it'll take you back.
It'll take you back.
To memory lane.
BBT, Bookies Bronco
Cali,
Temerario at
man.
night,
They had
la
una
hora
hora, BBT.
de Bookies Bronco Temerarios.
Yeah.
Oh.
They had that over here too. And,
No, they still have that.
Yeah, they still have it over there.
Yeah.
They had it on La Raza over
La
here.
Raza.
Yeah, BBT, Bookies. ¿Cómo era que es?
Bookie Bronco Temerario.
Bookie Broken
So you drive
Temerarios.
over there, is memory lane, back to memory lane
Yeah.
right there.
That's
Nice.
badass,
That's
guys.
dope.
But you guys don't, como dices tú, you don't do this, you do this just
Por
as
gusto.
As a
por
hobby.
gusto, ¿no? You think
Yeah.
that helps you guys not feel I mean, porque un músico que lo hace porque tiene que hacerlo, siente esa presión de que they have to be creative, they have to be they have to deliver. You guys
Yeah.
don't feel that pressure, obviously, ¿no? So lo hacen como con más libertad, con más amor, se puede decir.
Yeah. We don't feel like we're not frustrated musicians.
Yeah.
We don't feel the pressure because, yeah, like if the song gets 100 streams or if it gets 100,000 or 100 million, like obviously the 100 million is gonna get you super excited.
Yeah.
But we're content and happy with just creating
Yeah.
because we're creating for ourselves. That's part of our identity.
Yeah.
It's not like
But we're also not creating like trash either, you know. Like I think
No.
we've been studying musicians forever, just like you guys, man. You've been doing it forever, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You want to
yeah,
create
agarran
something
calle.
that, like, hey, if I like it, then probably everybody else will like it.
Yeah.
Too,
one of the
Yeah.
reasons we haven't like really put out norteño music cause like I mean we haven't put out a norteño album since the Culpable Soy Yo album.
Wow.
That's 14 years ago. Can you imagine not dropping a norteño album
Yeah.
in 14 years? And one of the reasons we didn't is because it was so time consuming.
You remember the days of recording?
Yeah.
Like nowadays, de volada, but we would spend
Sí.
over a month in the studio. Man.
Yeah. Back in the days se usaba así,
picking
¿no?
songs,
jeez.
laying down ghost tracks, this,
Hay que
that,
arreglar la
mixing.
batería en 3 días, you know, like.
Who's the drummer? From you guys? Nobody?
Yeah, my brother.
Oh, your brother? He plays drums?
Brother number 4. He's 4.
Four.
Yeah.
He's a drummer.
Accordion,
Bajo sexto.
sexto,
Number
brother
3 is
number 3
bass.
is bass,
And then brother number 4 is batería y luego sax.
5 is sax, and then our sister percusiones and accordion here and there.
Yeah.
But like spend a whole month in the recording studio, or like go on a vacation, be with your family. Go to,
Yeah.
now that you have kids, go to soccer practice, or like we're the soccer coaches or basketball coaches or baseball coaches for our kids. Like, so it's like a balance. Like, what do we
Like,
prefer?
Priorities are a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Y como
Yeah.
dijo Nigel, like he said the word hobby, but it's not a hobby. Like we actually take it like very serious, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it. People say, "Oh, it's your hobby," because you do it on the side. Nah, man, I take it serious.
Take it
Yeah.
serious.
But it is
At
like
your, at your own pace.
it's not even on the side for me. To me, I'm
Yeah.
always thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like he
It's
goes, "Hey, you want to go talk to Edgar?" I was like, "Pfft,
Let's go.
When?
Let's
Let's
go.
go, you know?
It's a way of life, but it's not what like pays the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because you
there's
guys
that big difference, you know. So we don't feel like we need to constantly put out things or create or anything like that
Yeah.
because we don't need. Not that we're
You-
rich, but we don't need the money.
No,
you know
you
what I
guys
mean?
still
Yeah.
see it as a profession, you know, in a way. You guys have your own pace. You know, you guys been knowing the business for a long time, how this works. Y pues, you know, ha habido éxitos, logros, metas. What advice would you give to those who are really, hay unos que quieren pegar ya, you know?
Yeah.
well, don't do what we did because we're kind of sitting back, you know. I think you have to put everything out,
Yeah.
put everything out.
Everything you
No.
have, no?
Like we've been picky a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Like we've have a song that we finished 2 years ago. We haven't put out.
It's a beautiful song. It's like we listen to it, it's a banger, you know?
The album that we finished it.
If you
in
record a
2019,
banger, you
we
probably
haven't
want
put it out.
Yeah.
if you record a banger, you
Yeah.
probably want to put it out, right?
Right away, no?
And we're just like, I'm good right there listening to it in my car.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, it's
I-
gonna come out, but I think the advice to those that que quieren pegar, like no traten de pegar, just toquen su
Do you.
música y ahí va a salir el estilo. And
Yeah.
a veces, you know, you get lucky and you hit with a banger, and a veces no, and you never know. But just keep putting music out. I think like when you hear like all these artists that are putting out songs every month or every other month, you know, ese es el estilo ahorita. Así se
Yeah.
hacen las cosas. Antes era un álbum al año,
Un álbum al
quizás
año.
2,
Maybe.
pero uno.
That'd be
un
crazy.
año.
Oh, damn,
Yeah,
you
ahora-
guys dropped 2 albums in a year?
Yeah.
That
Ahora
was-
ni son como EPs, like, let me drop one, and then 3 weeks later, the second one, 3 weeks later, the third one,
Yeah.
and then, you know, like a month and a half later, I'm going to drop the album. It's the 4th and 5th one I'm going to come, or, you know, and each song that drops has like a visual or like a music video or something like
Yeah.
that. So my advice would be to be consistent, to stay true to the craft and the musicianship, and like do the highest quality that you can. But also something that my dad always told us growing up is like the difference between someone that's successful and someone that's not successful. The successful person has a plan. No puedes grabar y nomás tirar a ver qué pega. Like, what is your plan? What are qué son tus metas? What are your measurables? How are you going to measure the growth?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to like have a business plan, because if it's going to be your career, if it's going to be the way you eventually buy your mom a house, you need to have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, Edgar didn't get here by just BSing and going through the motions. He had a vision and he had a plan, and step by step. And then he was consistent. You were consistent, right?
Consistency.
Consistency. Especially right now with the formula of dropping a song every 2 weeks, you got to stay consistent.
And you got to be true also to yourself, because like Edgar has a crazy ear. And imagine if he's like, maybe I shouldn't listen to what my ear says. And,
Yeah.
you know, these other guys, maybe I should do what they do. You know,
Yeah.
like he's one of the top producers in Latin music.
Yeah.
And it's because of this right here and because of what he feels.
Like,
So I think if you're writing songs, like you should also write your own songs.
Yeah.
Write your own songs and put them out there. If it's something you feel like, estoy bien caído porque tal cosa y voy a hacer eso as a result of this or that and X, Y, Z. And if that makes you feel like sorrow, happy, lo que sea, entonces a otra persona también igual.
they'll
Yeah.
connect, you know. If that's what you're feeling, I guarantee somebody else is feeling the same way, and there'll be a connection. So don't sit there and be like, I've never really written a song before. I don't think it's a good song. I don't think it's that. If you wrote it because that's what you're feeling, put it out there, and it'll be like, there'll be a connection with the people. So
Yeah.
I
Y
think,
also, like, a veces, como nosotros lo hacemos, nos sentamos, los lunes vamos a escribir, y también los jueves, a huevo, a las 7 de la noche, hasta que
Ya
se termine
saben.
la canción. Si uno espera para la inspiración, a veces no llega. A veces llegan momentos y, pues voy a esperar que llegue mejor otro día, o no la sentí tan bien este día. Like, siéntate y trátalo como un trabajo. If you treat it like a job,
Yeah.
then after a while, it's going to get easy and easier and easier to
You make
cook.
it a habit, no?
it's a habit, yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes a habit. So some people are like, oh, when I become inspired, I can write a song. But you can get to a point where you develop the craft to say, oh, I'm writing Mondays at 8 o'clock. I can bust out a beautiful song Monday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because you've done it so many
Yeah.
times. It becomes like a skill set that you developed. So you don't have to be sleeping in the middle of the night and then like you wake up and like, let me turn on the lamp because I got an idea.
I mean,
Yeah,
that works too.
typewriter.
You should do
Yeah.
that. You should do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that
He
can
does the
happen
same
too.
thing.
That can happen
Yeah.
too.
I got a cell phone ticket one time because I'm driving and I take out my cell phone and I sing a lyric.
A melody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's me. I when inspiration hits, I type the phrases or the words or the lyrics or this or that. So
Yeah.
then when we link up on Zoom like Monday nights, I'll be like, tengo estas frases, and I just go through like 20 different ones, and then he'll be like, let's work with this one, and then we just go from there.
Or I heard this
Yes,
chord progression from like the Beatles or quien
Yeah.
sea, this
Hay
new
que
group. Like,
aplicarlo.
let's try this, man. I haven't heard it, you know.
That's tight.
So just be true to yourself, and then if you're true to yourself, then naturally you're gonna be true to the people that are listening to your music too.
I think that when it's a true, the truest form of expression, I think it's more palatable for the people, no, porque como que they can relate to it more, you know. Como esto is something that you write, you know, somebody else, it resonates with somebody else. They feel it too, you know. Like if you're going through some sorrow and you write about it, maybe the way you write about it is the way that it connects, you know, with the people. So it's man, the power of music. I always say the power of music is otro pedo, bro. la neta.
Yeah, por eso siguen siendo los reyes Juan Gabriel y José Alfredo Jiménez. Like, they were so true, you know?
Yeah, you hear their lyrics and it's just like masterpieces, you know?
Yeah, and like oh yeah, that happened to me. I can relate.
Yeah.
That's why they're timeless.
Those are the timeless songs, bro.
Like like we rarely like to put in, like, a veces nos preguntan, hey, escribe una canción y usa the word Snapchat o algo. Y a mí nunca me ha gustado eso porque yo digo, ¿qué tal en 10 años cuando ya no haya
Snapchat.
You know, let's rephrase
El
it.
Snapchat.
You know,
That's true.
let's rephrase it. But
It's hard. I think it's like not impossible, but it's gonna be less and less frequent that music in our era is recorded and it's timeless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because so much saturation, like there's so much out there, like it'll hit and it can be number one, but it's not gonna be timeless. Like they're not gonna be bumping it 10 years from
10
now.
years from now.
20 years from now, they're not gonna be asking for that song. 30 years from now, they're not gonna be, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna disappear because more is gonna take its place.
There's
like
so
how big
much.
was Nata y luego llega otro y luego Peso Plum y luego like.
But even their
Yeah.
biggest hits, I don't feel like 30, 40, 50 years from now, we're living in the moment, right?
Yeah.
And those songs are like world global hits in that moment, but it's not going to be like Pedro Infante singing Cien Años and 100 years go by and they're still singing Cien Años.
Still singing.
Or
Or
Sabor a
Rocío Dúrcal
mí,
singing
or Amor Eterno, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you think Ella Baila Sola is going to be bumping in 50 years?
Like, great song, but like...
But it's had the most success out of any song ever.
Yeah.
I guarantee you I would bet all my money that when your great-grandchildren are at a funeral, they'll still be playing Amor Eterno.
Oh, yes.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
And when your great-grandchildren hire a mariachi, they're still gonna be playing Ella.
And El Rey, and, you know,
that's
timeless.
That's crazy to
Do you
me.
think there's any kind of music right now, and I'm talking in all the genres, that can be, I guess, considered a candidate for timeless music? Or you think the power, I mean, the rate at which music is being produced now, with the rate that how it's being produced, you think that's not possible anymore?
Man, honestly, I don't think it's possible anymore. There's like...
Because it always change. Music needs to change.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, just like people, if we don't change, then we're not gonna adapt to anything.
Yeah.
Probably the closest thing I would probably say is mariachi, right? Porque los charros quieren que esa música se quede tradicional.
They stay
Yeah.
true to tradition, and I think tradition is what stands the test of time.
Yeah.
And then evolution is just a process of change.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to stand the test of time, because in a year, corridos are going to sound different.
They're gonna sound
In
different.
2 years, they're going to sound
They're
different.
evolving.
And they're going to keep changing, so they don't stay in the same form for people to be like, that's a standard. You know what I mean? Like, let's say, like, I don't know, who's like a top artist right now, like Carol G or something. Like, a bunch of her songs are hits. So how can one hit outshine all the other hits?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it also. And just the turnout of music, like, so much music is coming out. Like, I even like Despacito, that was a global hit, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we still know it, but like, let's the
Let's
kids that are
follow
in
it.
high school right now, they don't know Despacito no more.
Yeah.
They were like little
Yeah.
babies when they came out.
When
So
they
it's
came
like,
out.
so we get a little older, but then when they're our age, Despacito is gone forever. It's not, even that song didn't stand the test of time. It's been fading
Yeah.
over. You know what I mean?
But it's all this
Yeah,
it's all those social media like TikTok. You can just go like this for all the videos, you know, like
Yeah.
you don't like it, go to the next one. You don't like it, and that's how like music is nowadays. Like
Yes.
you put something out, and another one, another one, another one.
But you're like, oh, this is so cool, very, very. Oh, look at this one. Oh, this is badass.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
You know, you
That's-
drop a song, Voz del Rancho drops a song, and like you guys hype it up for a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the crowd, el público is excited for it, and it drops. And I bet you like a week later, they're like, when's the next one?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, dude, already? I gotta drop something else already?
That's how,
Like
that's,
a short
that's how it
attention
is.
span. We all have ADD now. Like,
we do, right?
You know what I
Everybody
mean?
has ADD now.
we're like,
Yeah.
we want our information and our entertainment fast and quick.
We can't even go drive to McDonald's. We have to get somebody to drive it to our house. Uber
Yeah,
Eats and everything, you know, like
For sure.
it's
Oh,
all
I
like
ain't
that. We
gonna
want it
order
now.
on the drive-thru. I
Oh,
order on
yeah.
the app, and then
Oh
just
yeah,
go pick it up.
yeah, porque you get there and just pick it up. Y vámonos.
Yeah.
My coffee in the morning, on my Starbucks app, boom. Nomás llego y la recojo. And it's just like everybody wants everything así. Rápido.
So
Yeah.
I think we, like, he lectures a lot about corridos and stuff, and we talk about how corridos are a reflection of what's happening in society. I think music in general
Yeah.
is a reflection of what's happening in society, and everything is now at our fingertips that quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The accessibility.
So
of
the
it, right?
accessibility. So I think that was a beautiful song. I loved it, but I need the next one already.
The
Yeah.
And
accessibility.
the next one, and the next one, the next one. So
And I think it también tiene mucho que ver de que I think it's just happening in general with everything. Like if you think about how many movies came out
Yeah.
back then, ahora Netflix is throwing out a lot. There's more opportunity for people to be more musicians. You know, antes no había tantos grupos. Ahora
Yeah.
hay tanto saturación de grupos. So where do you keep your attention at? You know, so
you know, that's the other thing too. When we talk about grupos,
yeah,
how many grupos even like stand the test of time?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, that was a banger. But then, like, 3 years later, that group doesn't even exist anymore. So how
Exactly.
can their song even withstand the test of time if the group doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah.
So the song can become timeless when the group was only around for a year or two.
Y antes era más difícil de aprender un instrumento. Y ahora es más
Oh, sí.
fácil, igual como es más fácil aprender producir, porque ya está el YouTube, ya está all these schools, and so I think since there's a lot of people learning faster because of these tools, because of YouTube,
Yeah.
then you got more multiple producers, directors,
Yeah.
musicians. I see, like, it's crazy how the information keeps coming. Well, how do you stop the flow? But I feel
Yeah.
like that's why the lifespan of information is short, because donde pones la atención when there's like how many releases on a Friday?
Thousands.
It's
Thousands
So
on Friday.
today I'm going, like, I opened up my email and like it was like email from Fonovisa, new releases. And I didn't even open it, New release, I deleted and no sé qué. I was like, go to my trash and open it. And I click it.
Yeah.
And then like the second song down was a song that we wrote that released with the artist I've never even heard of. And I was just like, fuck, dude. I didn't even know and it's our damn song. You know what I mean? If I don't know and it's our own song, can you imagine like the thousands and thousands of groups and songs that are coming out
every week?
And that was my song and I didn't know about it. So it's just like there's so much out there, which is also a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you can choose whatever you want to choose. You don't have to wait to go watch the movie in the movie theater anymore.
Yeah.
You can choose between thousands of them in the comfort of your home.
Sure.
So it's the way of life has evolved and changed, and you just need to adapt to it and learn the new system.
Yeah, back then we had to eat whatever they gave us on the radio.
Yeah.
And now, like,
you can choose.
who's radio,
Yeah.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever.
Back then te esperabas hasta que saliera el disco.
Yeah.
Ibas a la discoteca, hey, dame el nuevo. Y todavía no sale.
Todavía
El
no.
mes que entra, chinga.
Yeah.
I remember those days. Man.
Damn.
Now everybody is the program director. You do whatever playlist you want, and that's the way it goes now.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. No, definitely. Definitely. Pero sí estamos en un mundo muy rápido ya. We just gotta adapt to it, bro. No hay de otra. That's good, guys. So what's next for you guys? What are you guys up to now? ¿Ya van a sacar música? Dice, no?
Yeah, tenemos música. Speaking of like timeless and tradition, we kind of touched on the three styles of music that we play. Son jarocho, which is one genre of music. Son huasteco, which is a different genre of music. Y luego música norteña. A veces con pura acordeón, a veces con torlocha, a veces con acordeón y saxofón. But the album that we have recorded and we've just been sitting on it for some reason is a Son Jarocho album. We surprised my dad a couple years ago. On his birthday, we flew over his favorite harpist from Mexico.
Oh, nice.
And my dad is babysitting the grandkids. And he's in the front of the house and he's playing his harp. And the grandkids are playing. And we snuck into the rancho and we come around the back. He picked up the harpist from LAX and then
so
we can't borrow one of my dad's harps because we can't go into the house. He'll see us, ruin the surprise. So my brother in Whittier brings his own harp and they're running through the orchards because we have a ranch with orchards. They're running through the orchards, all circle around with the harp and then we have it on video. It's pretty funny. My dad is like playing the harp.
We post up in the living room.
And we post up in the entryway of the house. So we came through the back door. And then we start playing a song like El Siki City or something like real strong. And my dad's like playing. He's like, he stops and he looks up to the heavens.
It was funny.
He thought he had died.
No. I didn't know where it was coming from.
And he's just like looking up. He's like, and he stops. He's like, that ain't like that's live music. My dad, and we can see him through the window, and someone's videotaping. And he comes in the house with this harp, and he's like, he makes a face like, "All my kids are here playing for me." Like, and then when he pans left, he sees the harpist. He's like, so he does and then like, "Cómo le pegó el patatús?" Like, what the hell? So my dad had a freaking Son Jarocho concert in his living room on his birthday.
Oh, that's badass.
And then we told them, like, but that's not your present. The present is tomorrow we're going to the studio and we're going to record an album with your favorite harpist. And that's your real gift. And my dad was just like, what the hell? Like, hell yeah. And
so that one's going to come out.
That one's going to come out. And the cool thing about that album is that everything is live,
We did
dude.
it
Yeah.
live.
Sin
Ese
ensayar.
estilo de música no se puede grabar en partes, man.
Yeah.
Porque se
Tiene que
pierde
ser
el
ahí.
feeling.
See, you guys gotta feed
You
off
have
each
to
other,
vibe,
no? You have to
because it's
feed off
like
each
es
other.
una conversación. Yo hago algo en mi requinto
Yeah.
y él me responde con el arpa y él nos apoya con la jarana, pero se tiene que conversar ahí en ese momento.
Sí, sí, sí.
You can't do that in partes.
En partes.
It's
Crazy.
impossible.
Yeah, yeah.
You won't capture that energy or that feeling. There's a lot of improvisation.
Y no hay click. Entonces,
Yeah.
you know, the music will speed up, and that's how
Yeah.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it gives it that human feel, no?
Yeah.
That's. I mean, shit. That the click thing is something that I mean, de alguna manera, I think it kind of dehumanizes the music in a way. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, if you want perfection or you want it to be on a grid because you're gonna edit later, that's cool. But when it's live, bro. I
Well,
mean,
what do
no
you rather
clicks.
listen to, like a
Live.
studio album or live?
I mean, if it's done right live, que suene pues live, you know?
Live.
Yeah, because
So-
you hear the true
Yeah.
magic of the músicos playing together in a
It
room.
can be very mechanical when you're in the studio.
Yeah.
And then a lot of musicians who don't have that musicianship, it's like studio magic. Like how many
Yeah.
times have you afinando voces? Or how many like, let's do it one more time.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to tell them,
Oh, yeah.
cantas feo, way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, try to do this. Like, you got to find the producer way
Yeah.
to get the best out of them.
Yeah,
But you
have to.
did like 50 cuts to get,
Yeah.
you know, to
Yeah.
get what you wanted. So I think when it's live, it just sounds the way it's supposed. It's
magic.
meant to be.
It's magic,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. I always say that like when a singer is doing their takes, the first couple of takes are the good ones, they're the magic ones, you know,
Yeah.
because that's where the excitement is at. That's where todo el entusiasmo, todo eso. Ya cuando la cantan 50 veces,
Yeah.
ya las
Se
last
pierde
takes
un
ya,
poco,
ya,
yeah.
ya perdió
Exactly.
toda la emoción, you know.
So this album was live and you know we finished the album with like one taking everything like
Yeah.
okay, este siguiente son and okay, vamos a empezar con un solo de bajo y luego yo voy a entrar aquí and like we're kind of
Yeah.
like real quick on the spot coming up with like sort of an arrangement, but it's just like you're almost playing kind of scared like fuck, like
Yeah.
you're on your toes like what's next,
But
what
that's
am
how
I
you play
gonna do?
good, though, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So te
Keep
ponen las
changing.
pilas and you
Like,
gotta listen to
come on,
everybody
yeah.
and the album ended and then like I was like, that was great. The harpist name is Jacinto Gatica Jr. We call him Gatica and I was like, dang, Gatica, nunca hemos tocado ninguno de estos sones. And he looks at us like, the hell? When I sent you the list of the 10 sones, how come you didn't say we don't know them? And I was like, cause you chose them and you're the maestro, so I didn't want to like
man.
disappoint you. And then he was just like in shock that so pretty much all of the sones that we recorded in that album,
Yeah,
we've never played it-
before.
we had never
We
played
just
before.
it at that moment.
so it's like
Yeah.
real
raw.
improvisation.
Yeah.
And it
Ahí
sounds
donde entra el colmillón.
yeah.
yeah.
Colmillo.
Well, we've been playing. Well, people laugh, but like since I was 5 years old, I'm 42. That's what is that? How many?
37 years.
37 years together, man.
Yeah.
We tell people we've been playing 37 years, even though we only look like we're in our late 20s.
Yeah.
I think
I was
officially
just gonna say that.
I think officially if you count that first performance on stage opening up for Los Lobos,
Yeah.
I think it's like 33 or 34 years that we have
Playing together.
been playing on stage and getting
Yeah,
paid.
but my mom, we played at weddings too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or one of our first, my dad would play us in quarters. Nos daba una peseta, 1 quarter
Per song.
And he's barbecue.
shit.
Y luego nos cobraba el taco a dólar. So damn, dog.
So
you know how many songs we had to learn?
Yeah.
That's
for
how
a
we
pinche
became
taco?
cancioneros. That's how
Yeah.
we learned. That's how we learned. Like, oh, we got like 200 songs in our head, and we're like in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like
Shit.
La Martina, 15 años tenía Martín. Like
Yeah.
the first song we learned.
We were talking about we're like, what's the longest gig? It's not long. We did it like 7-8 hours
Yeah.
years back, pero sin teléfono. Like that
Oh.
was before those
Yeah,
days.
before the
And I was
days.
thinking, damn, I don't know if I could do 7-8 hours again, you know?
Oh, no. Like, sí, a mí se me olvidan las canciones. Cada fin de semana está
Me
cabrón.
too.
No, guys, qué chingón, bro. La neta, les agradezco un chingo que hayan venido and check, you know. You guys have a crazy, amazing story, bro. You guys, I love the fact that you guys are so united, and I relate to that because me and my brothers are super close too, like the way you guys are, and I feel like that's part of you guys' magic, no, of all the mojo you guys create. Y pues hay que seguir dándole, bro. Hay que seguir dándole. You guys are badass. Y pues a ver cómo nos invitan to that Bohemia that you guys do.
We're gonna do it, and we'll bring the
Yeah.
cameras, and
Yeah.
we'll record it. We'll make it an
We've
event.
talked about it. Ya lo hemos platicado.
I've only heard about these famous Bohemias. I've never been there, but
The ranch sessions.
Yeah.
You come up with whatever name you want, but we'll make it happen because I think el público would love to see, like, be a fly on the wall
Like
in
raw
those,
music that's
yeah,
happening.
in those
that'd be
sessions.
sick,
thank
bro.
you
Pues
for
ahí nos
sharing
invitan.
those stories, man. That's great.
Thank you for
Oh.
having us. We could be here all night. And
Yeah, we're a fan of your guys' work too. So
No, thank
for-
you
thank
guys.
you
Aquí
for
tienen
the
su
spot.
casa. Cuando
Gracias.
saquen su disco, vengan aquí, lo tocamos en vivo.
Nice.
I know.
Thank you guys, hermanos Herrera, and Así Pero Bien. Aquí estamos, raza.